We've got the Warriors and Wizards, followed by the Timberwolves and Lakers. But before we get to our doubleheader, we've got an hour-long TNT NBA tip-off presented by Auto Trader, during which we will announce the starters for the All-Star game in Charlotte. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Charles Barkley at your service tonight. Before we go any further, I want to join the chorus of all those who are sending their best to Victor Oladipo. One of the most popular guys out there, just a great dude and such a talent in this league. And to be lost for the season now after what happened last night, it's a ruptured quad tendon, and he is out for the season.
Ernie, number one, Victor, you know we love you. We love having you on the talent show. You're a hell of a player. I almost started crying last night, Ernie, because I knew what it was. That was the same injury that ended my career.
Yep.
And when I saw it, I said, he tore his quad. And it's awful for the Pacers. But, man, he's such a great kid and a great player. All our thoughts and prayers are with you, Victor.
Wish you well, brother.
Yeah, you know what? You know, it's so unfortunate. You know, Victor is, like Charles, I'm going to reiterate, one of the good guys in the NBA. I've known him since he got into the league. It's pretty funny because he and his guys that he associate with, Jay and all of his camp, when they're in LA, it's like, where's the gym, Kenny? You got the keys to the gym, open up. And we get in the gym and just work out, you know, for the last couple of years and coming to events and going to his things. So I'm just sick. I was sick last night just hearing that, you know, and knowing that it was possibly that injury after it came out with, you know, with Charles, which how serious it was with Charles, you know, just wishing you and his best. His mom is great.
The good
whole
thing,
family's great.
The good thing, it's the same injury that Tony Parker had. And he's a lot younger than Tony Parker. Tony Parker's playing very well, so that's encouraging. I was already going to retire, so it had no effect upon me, but I would call Tony Parker right away and say, hey, tell me how you did your rehab. Because Tony Parker's been playing very well this year.
Yeah, he was a young guy. He was hustling for ball. Freak injury. It happened. But, you know, the good thing is, you know, everyone's wishing him well. He's going to get the surgery, whatever. He's going to do rehab, and I believe he's going to come back even stronger.
Yeah, prayers up for Victor Oladipo from all of us here. As we get set to announce the All-Star starters, a brief explanation of how the voting works. Voting by you, the fans, counts 50%. Balloting by a media panel counts for 25%, and the final 25% comes from player ballots. When all of those numbers are put in a computer, it spits this out. This is 17 pages worth of names and numbers. And at the top of the, you know, if you're the top 3 front court and top 2 back court in each conference, those are the 10 starters. If there was a tie in the weighted score, the fan vote is the tiebreaker, and that did come into play in the Western Conference. Here's the way it turned out in the West as we reveal the starters for the All-Star game
Ernie,
in Charlotte. We begin.
This was the best the fans ever did. I have no problems with anybody.
LeBron James will be the captain on one side. He's tied with Kobe now with 15 All-Star game starts, averaging 27 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists on the year. Joining him along the front line, Kevin Durant, 10 straight All-Star appearances in this, his 12th season, averaging 28 points a game, which is number 4 in the league. All-Star game MVP in 2012, 4-time scoring champion, and
horse champion.
2-time horse champion, 09 and 10. Paul George is the other starter in the front court.
He's played great all year.
27 points a game is number 8 in the league. Career high in points, rebounds, and steals this year. He won a tiebreaker over Anthony Davis for the starting spot in the Western Conference.
Wow.
We go to the backcourt. Steph Curry, 6th straight All-Star appearance. He's averaging 29 points a night, which is number 3 in the league. He's 5th in three-point percentage. They're 28 and 8 when he plays, 5 and 6 when he doesn't, and he makes it look effortless. And James Harden joins him in the backcourt. 7th straight All-Star selection. I don't even know how much else you have to say about this guy.
Oh, yeah, 61 last night.
Leads the league in scoring.
Yeah, 61 last night.
He's 4th in assists.
Yeah, 61 last night.
31 games of at least 30, including 21 straight 30-point games. Derrick Rose and Russell Westbrook tied for 3rd.
Wow.
Behind Steph Curry and James Harden. And so that Anthony Davis situation with Paul George
Well, Paul George, no disrespect to Anthony Davis, but Paul George deserved to be a starter. I saw, obviously, when we had to pick out our reserves, I saw both lists today. In my 30-some years in the NBA, I thought the fans and coaches and media got it perfect.
Well, it's a combination of all three, so it's not just one. So what was the fan?
Well, we're going to.
The fans would have wanted it.
We're going to reveal that right now. So here's the way the fans wanted it. The fans wanted James, Doncic, and Kevin Durant. They didn't want Paul George or Anthony Davis.
That don't make it
starting.
Right.
And Steph Curry and Derrick Rose were the fan choices in their balloting. Now on the media side, LeBron, Durant, and Anthony Davis with Harden and Curry. In fact, Harden ahead of Curry in the backcourt among the media. And
he deserves that.
And on the player ballot, James, Durant, and Davis, Curry and Harden in the backcourt. So actually, when you look at it, Paul George trailed in the player vote, and he trailed in the media vote, but the fan vote, that's where Anthony Davis was fifth, and that's what cost him a starting spot.
Well, Paul George deserved to start, but I also have a problem with Damian Lillard. The players should have him higher than that.
Hey, Damon, you see where your peers are thinking? When they come to Portland.
He should be higher than 5.
And you touched on James Harden. I mean, again, when you saw what happened, and what was the headline in the New York paper, Madison Square Harden? I mean, he went for 61 points last night.
I mean, we understand that the Knicks aren't a very good basketball team.
Well, that's an understatement.
But 61 points is 61 points.
No question.
There's no way around it. And his ability to score in multiple ways, the last guy I've seen to do this is Kobe Bryant. To be able to score this easy, he's the Kobe Bryant of this era, scoring at this kind of clip, doing things I haven't seen.
And he's known for the three, and he went
Shaq on this list
last night.
Damn, Shaq.
Of course, you know.
You must have been pretty good in your day.
Yeah, back in 2000 to have.
I'm gonna have to go back and look at some old videotapes.
He went 5 for 20 last night. You know, he's known for the three ball. You know, he's very deadly behind the three ball. Went to the free throw line 20 times. But Kenny's right. He's very hard to stop. My only fear for him is he's doing a lot of scoring last month. Hopefully,
there's some people that are
in the postseason.
There's some people, Shaq, and you, Charles, you can kind of jump in on this. That's saying, there's probably a bunch of guys in the league that could do what he's doing if they had that shot opportunity. I don't believe that. I only believe there's 1 or 2 guys that could get 50 consistently at this clip. Now, you guys were prolific scorers. If you had got the ball that much they needed you to do that much, could you score at that clip? Because I don't know if a lot of guys can do that as being an NBA player.
No, because, number one, James
said yes or no?
No.
Thank you.
Well, I think Steph Curry and KD are probably the only 2 guys, because those 2 will be the only 2 guys who are going to shoot that many threes.
Right.
But that would be the caveat. Like, I can't get 50 a night unless I made 5 to 7 to 10 threes.
Right.
Like, I can get 30 or 40, but
he took 20 last night.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, so
he got the free throw line.
That's my point.
Yeah.
That's my point. And they're saying now, a lot of guys, being a former NBA player, one, the fatigue of it, the mental preparation and everything that he does, a lot of guys can't do that. No.
But can he maintain it?
But can he maintain it? He's maintained it for longer than I've ever seen.
But I don't think you can win. I don't think you can win like that.
But I don't know if you can win. But guys, listen,
it's amazing.
15 and
everyone
6.
Can't do
15
that.
and 6 over this 21-game stretch, and when he scored at least 30 points.
There aren't 10 guys in the NBA that can do that.
No, it's not 10. It's like less than 5 now.
Thank you.
Rockets number 5 in the West. We will talk a bit later about who we think should be the Western Conference reserves. That comes a little bit later in our show. Let's get a little Twitter action here. Oh, that's from the Timberwolves. Yeah, Derrick Rose coming close, but not quite close enough. He did win the tiebreaker over Westbrook for the number 3 spot, but you only got 2 spots in the backcourt for all-star starters. When we come back, we will announce the starters from the Eastern Conference. Keep it right here. Well, the time is fast approaching for All-Star 2019 in the Queen City of Charlotte. Friday, February 15th with the Rising Stars, and of course All-Star Saturday night on the 16th, and the game itself on the 17th, exclusively on TNT. Who wants to see the Eastern Conference?
We all do, Ernie. America's waiting with bated breath.
So here's your other captain. LeBron's one captain, and the Greek Freak is the other captain.
Deservingly.
4.4 million votes received. 27 points a game is number 9. 13 rebounds a night is number 6. He's shooting 58%. Ooh. Has 16 games of 25, 10, and 5, the most in the NBA. Who's on the front line along with the Greek Freak? How about Kawhi Leonard?
Well deserved.
Third All-Star selection in his 8th season. 28 points a game is number 5. That's a career high. 8 rebounds a game is a career high. Has 15 games of 30-plus and a high of 45 for the 36-14 Toronto Raptors. Joel Embiid, the third frontline starter from the East, second All-Star appearance. 22 games of 30-plus. He's got 40 double-doubles, tied for the most in the league.
I know he's a warrior.
27 points a game, 13 rebounds, and he's 7th in blocks. Jason Tatum finished 4th in the balloting for the front court. In the backcourt, Kyrie Irving.
Yes.
6th appearance in 2019. 24 points a game is 15th in the league. He's had 10 games with at least 10 assists this year. He only had one game like that last season for the 30-18 Celtics. And Kemba Walker joins him as an Eastern Conference All-Star starter. This is his 3rd appearance and his first start. 25 points a game, 13 games with at least 30, had 60 against the Sixers in November.
Yeah, 60?
D-Wade and Ben Simmons tied for 3rd, with D-Wade getting the nod for officially the number 3 spot by virtue of the fan vote. So Kemba Walker for the Charlotte Hornets, and how cool is that going to be in a place where he's played his entire career in front of his folks there in Charlotte and getting a chance to start in the All-Star game.
I've been blessed to be a starter at home in the All-Star game, and there's nothing like it. And Kemba's been fantastic all year. He don't get a lot of love. We don't show the Hornets ever. Ever. But hey, listen, I'm happy for him. He's a great kid. He's a hell of a player. Good for him.
I mean, at his size, to be able to dominate the game offensively the way he does, James Harden-like, 25 points a game. Kemba says he's 6 feet, but I would guarantee you he's 5'10", without question. And to get into the lane, the ball handling wizardry, and we talk about Kyrie Irving and Steph Curry's handle all the time. I put Kemba Walker's handle right in there with them and say, let's go at it.
How about that backcourt? The handles in that backcourt with Kyrie and Kemba.
And I think he totally got in because of the way he played. These two knuckleheads over here, record this and record that. The guy's a hell of a guard. He's actually playing like.
Yeah, but their record's pretty good.
No, it's not. They're one game under 500.
No, they're in the playoffs.
They're in the playoffs.
24, number 7.
They're in the 7th seed.
If you're under 500, it's not winning. Don't even try. Don't even try.
But you can still get in the playoffs, and they are number 7.
Hey, listen,
he's an all-star, and congratulations.
He's in the playoffs if the season ended today.
I'm not taking a Nick. I'm going to take him.
Let's see how the breakdown went for the fans, etc. So the fans wanted the Greek Freak and Leonard and Embiid. That's what they got. They wanted Irving and Wade, but as we told you, D-Wade just missing out as he finished 3rd. The media. How did the media vote? Greek Freak, Leonard, Embiid, all getting 99 votes. And you saw Tatum, Siakam, and Vucevic. The guards, Irving and Walker. And how did the players vote?
Got to be interesting.
Well, they got it the same way.
Okay, good.
So Giannis Antetokounmpo, by the way, in the player vote.
They voted the same way, but more votes went to Kemba from the players.
In the player vote.
Because he deserved it.
No, I'm just saying. It was voted the same way, but it was a landslide.
Which player got the most votes, East or West, in the player vote? Who do you think?
Giannis.
Giannis, yes, he did.
Yeah.
He got the most votes.
Yeah,
and also, but the thing that also happens when the players are voting, and again, this 17-page breakdown, you can go through it and see who else.
Some crazy ones.
We'll let you go.
Who else got votes?
Give some crazy ones.
Kem Birch of Orlando.
Who?
Kem Birch, K-H-E-M, Kem Birch, who's played in 20 games
any way you
for
want
the
to.
Magic.
I have no idea who that is.
Come on, man.
Walter Lemon of the Celtics, who played 5 games last year.
See, they
got a vote.
Joking around.
See, now it's people.
Dante Grantham.
He should have got in. Celtics 30 and 18.
Dante Grantham and Wenyen Gabriel. who have not played.
Guys
played this year.
Walked in and bit me on the ankle. I wouldn't know who they were.
Why would they bite you in the ankle?
You are allowed to vote for yourself. I don't know that those guys voted for themselves or if a buddy voted for them. But
well, who would bite you on the ankle? Why would they walk in and bite you?
It was rhetorical, fool.
No, but that's not a saying.
Yes,
if they walk me in and slap me on the back of the head, I got it. But walk you in and bite you on an ankle?
What if I just slapped the hell out of you on national television?
I would love to try it.
I have a question for y'all.
Yes, sir.
How do you feel about D. Wade?
Great guy, great player.
But, I mean, now he's relying on coaches to try to get him in. I mean, and look, I know you've always said this is not a Lifetime Achievement Award, but when you come to the end of a career, and it is the last year for D. Wade, isn't there part of you that says, boy, it'd be nice to see him at All-Star Weekend?
Well, for me, I don't look at it like that because there's guys who might not, like, this is why I don't like it, Ernie. There's guys who are only going to make the All-Star team one time in their life. This might be their only time. Mm-hmm. And Kenny talks about it all the time. He says that he had one regret. He never made the All-Star team. Probably the times he deserved it, and they gave it to somebody who was more popular. And listen, we all love Dwayne Wade, but listen, on these reserves, there's some guys I'm pulling for who this might be the only time in their life they're going to make the All-Star team, and that's why I don't like that.
I mean, it'll be nice for the game, nice for the fan, but D. Wade is definitely a Hall of Famer. But what I know about him, he don't want sympathy votes. So I think he would probably say, I'm not playing like the old D. Wade. I'm not playing like an all-star. If I get in, cool. But if he doesn't get in, I don't think he's going to be complaining.
Well, maybe there would be a way to recognize D. Wade at All-Star Weekend.
I think that's what should happen. I think that, Adam Silver, and he's been doing this farewell tour, giving jerseys. How about if every All-Star gives D. Wade a jersey during the game? Because he's been on this farewell tour. I would.
They didn't do that for Charles.
Well, Charles didn't. We didn't know he was on a farewell tour. We just thought he was playing bad. So, difference.
Oh, that was nice.
Wait, he got shot in his last game.
Oh, that's true.
True. What?
But he made the
run up and down the court. A sniper got you.
But I just think that we could do something to acknowledge him. I don't know about making it, especially there's some nets. And some.
No, we're going to get into all of these reserve possibilities in just a minute.
The players didn't vote for him. They don't want to see it. When you put up, he wasn't in the top 5 on the player votes. And I mean, like I said, that's no disrespect. The guy is an all-timer.
But it's a weekend for the fans, isn't it?
It's
you
a weekend.
Put him in a skills challenge.
Yeah, put him in a skills challenge.
So why y'all change the voting process then?
No, Ernie wanted to.
No, but I'm just saying.
Because I think.
Y'all also worry about the fans and why y'all switch.
But they also worried about the players not being able to vote, and they also worried about the people who cover the game not.
It's always been about the fans. It should always be about.
Well, I think the media who.
I think this combination's good.
Yeah, I think the media who covers the game has a big influence on what the fans think as well. But I also think the players who play the game should have a vote as well. So
yeah, they do.
And if we didn't have the player vote, we never would have said Kem Birch tonight, and we've said it now 3 times.
Can we get a picture of this dude?
Hey, do we have?
I guarantee y'all don't have a picture of him.
Yeah. Kemba Walker's coming up next, by the way.
Hey, let me ask you a question.
And we have Kemba's reaction to getting the news that he is an all-star starter.
He didn't know.
I think they kept it pretty tight, pretty close to the vest.
That's awesome.
During the most of the day, he made it, well deserved, that's for sure. And when we come back,
it would have been terrible if he was sitting there and didn't make it.
Yeah, we will be chatting. We will be chatting with Kemba Walker. Now, I'll tell you, we wouldn't have showed that piece of video.
That's exactly right.
My goodness. I hope you ain't got some guy who didn't make it up there sitting in some city.
Here's Kem Birch.
Y'all got me on the show and I didn't make the team?
Oh, my God.
It's Kemba Walker's 8th season in the NBA, and for the 3rd time, he's an all-star, but for the first time, he has heard his name called as a starter, and it will come in the city where he has spent his entire career, Charlotte. Kemba Walker joins us from Milwaukee, where the Hornets play the Bucks tomorrow night. Kemba, congratulations, number 1, and number 2. I was reading last week where people were asking you about the possibility of being an all-star, and you said, well, I don't know, with the record of the team and that kind of thing. How gratifying is it at this moment to be sitting there and knowing you're one of the 10?
Oh, man, it's kind of surreal. It's kind of surreal. I had a lot of doubt coming into my early career about just even being the elite point guard in this league. So for me to become an all-star, for 2 straight years, and then now to become an all-star starter, most definitely proved the doubters wrong. So this is an unbelievable moment in my career.
Barkley Shaquille here. 1, Uncle Chico says congratulations. 2, now that you know you're going to be a starter in Charlotte, what's going to be your mindset? I know the game was a couple weeks ago, but what's going to be your mindset? You just going to run up and down, or are you going to trying to get MVP?
I don't know yet. I know a lot of the players who play in their city usually goes for the MVP. I think I might as well. I'm going to try to play hard. Definitely want to get the win. But we'll see. I don't know.
Kemba, you guys are clinging to a playoff spot right now. You feeling really good about those playoffs?
I'm feeling good. We still got a lot of work to do, of course. We got to play better. I got to play better. Just got to get my team going. And, we got to just keep climbing, keep getting better every day, which we're doing. We're trying our best. So, whenever this season ends, hopefully we're one of the top 8.
Kemba, congratulations, firstly. Secondly, I want you to brag on yourself a little bit in this way. At being at your size, let's not lie, you're 5'10". So being at your size, carrying an NBA team, tell us that much responsibility of carrying the offensive load and the things that you've been doing and consistently being in the playoffs for a team like in Charlotte, where sometimes the expectations were always all over the place. What do you have to do differently than an Anthony Davis or LeBron James, guys who can physically impose their will on the game?
I gotta bring it every day. I gotta bring it every night. I have to be on point each and every night with my leadership, with my play. Can't show much emotion because I am one of the leaders of this team, and as I go, my team go. I know I'm not as big or athletic as those other guys, but I have a lot of other skills and things that kind of get me over the hump. My heart is definitely one of the things that get me over the hump as well. My passion for the game, and my teammates feed off that.
Kemba, I'm always interested in the Charlotte situation and knowing the dynamic of being a player for a team that is owned by the legendary Michael Jordan, who is, looking over your shoulder. And we saw him earlier this year with Malik Monk made kind of the bonehead move, and MJ kind of tapped him on the back of the head a couple of times. What's it like playing with Michael watching?
I don't know. For me, I'm fine. I don't know about the other guys, but for me, I love it, man. I mean, I think it makes me take my game to a whole nother level. MJ is the GOAT in my eyes, and when he's there, I know I got to step my game up. So I love it when he's there. I mean, he's all about us. He's all about his team. He's all about us winning. So, we want to impress him as much as possible.
My last thing for you is just a little bit off the court, because I know one of the highlights of being an all-star starter, and Charles and Shaq obviously know this, is the introductions before the game even begins. And it's going to happen in Charlotte, which is your gym. And you have been on Showtime at the Apollo, showing off your dance moves. So are you going to have something special planned for the intros in Charlotte All-Star night?
Don't get Sandman on him. I'm telling you, don't get the Sandman.
Not that I know of yet. I don't know yet. It's going to be exciting, though. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. Going to try my best to put on a show for the city.
I'm sure you will. And Kemba, a lot of folks happy for you, man.
Congratulations, brother.
Getting your first All-Star start.
Appreciate
Congratulations.
New York in the building.
Man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You got
Appreciate
it. Can't help but be happy for a guy like that who watches it happen.
He's such a good dude, but
his family always comes when we.
Yeah, his mom is always. She's
great.
funny, but it's such a privilege to play in the All-Star game. You never get tired of it, but it's just a tremendous honor.
Yeah, and they have a realistic chance now to get to the second round of the playoffs. Obviously, with the unfortunate injury to Victor Oladipo, because they have a legitimate shot possibly now, because Indiana was possibly going to be the 3rd seed. They're no longer going to be that.
You're right.
So they have a realistic chance.
We shall see.
To move up.
when we come
like
back.
that bet.
Okay. Now that we know all the starters, who should the reserves be? Always leads to some lively debate.
Yes, it does.
Here on the panel, and we'll probably do that again when we come back. Keep it here.
Shaq got like everybody who just scores.
Shaq just hate everybody.
Anybody.
Everybody. All-star singular, not because of what your team do.
We got an Instagram poll going. Should Anthony Davis be an all-star starter?
Oh, starter? Okay.
69% said yes, 31% said no, and of course he lost out on a tiebreaker, which was broken by the fan vote to Paul George for the final starting spot.
Well, how can the fans vote for George and then the poll goes for Davis? That doesn't make sense.
That's an excellent.
That doesn't even make sense. It's the same people.
It must be a different bunch of fans who are voting and who are on Instagram.
Yeah, you know how I told you, we got to be careful with the fans.
Here's the starters for the West as we review. LeBron is the captain. You got Kevin Durant and Paul George and James Harden and Steph Curry. That's a pretty good five right there.
No, but that's who should be starting.
Yeah, that's good.
I wonder if James Harden might get an assisted basket with that.
I can tell you that. It's going to be interesting if those guys go stand around and watch James dribble.
No, it's going to be. Well, as we do every year at this time, we kind of before the coaches can vote on the reserves as they vote for players in their own conference. We like to throw them out there and say, well, these are the 7 guys that we'd like to see, and we all agree on Anthony Davis, Nikola Jokic, Damian Lillard, Klay Thompson, and Russell Westbrook. So no argument there among the 4 of us. Really very, very few differences, but here's what we do have. Charles, you got cool hand Luka. You want the 19-year-old in Charlotte, huh?
I think he deserves to be there. He's played fantastic. You know, Ernie, Shaq.
He's played better than Donovan Mitchell to you.
Yes.
And Charles.
Yes.
Then how did Donovan Mitchell get this team to the playoffs?
And Charles.
But I'm just wait. No. Listen, I love Donovan Mitchell, but this kid has been number one. He's a runaway rookie of the year.
Well, the time is fast approaching.
I would put him in. He's exciting.
I would put Donovan Mitchell in. I think Donovan Mitchell is exciting.
You just made my point. You just made my point. An all-star is an individual that performs at a high performance. Forget what the team is doing. Doncic, they're 21 and 26. But I agree with you. He's a hell of a player. He should be in. He should be starting.
But he wasn't one of your reserves.
He wasn't one of my reserves because I knew how everybody thinks. Everybody's going to change. No, let me finish because I know how everybody thinks and everybody's changing the rule. But this kid is a hell of a player. He's very exciting, like you said. All-star weekend. We want excitement. We don't want this guy just standing around.
He's captured the imagination of people around the NBA, players and fans and coaches alike.
No one's debating that.
Yeah.
But his
okay,
ability,
but you penalize him because his team is 21.
Because
26.
I feel Donovan Mitchell is exciting. I feel what he's done for his team and making them 27 and 22. They would not be that without him. When Gordon Hayward left last year, he played like an all-star. He was exciting. Why can't this guy get rewarded this year?
How about
this team?
But why not?
Is here.
But how about Rudy Gobert? I had
Donovan
Gobert
Mitchell is a singular player on that team.
I agree with you on Rudy Gobert too.
He's a singular player that cannot be missed on the Utah Jazz. Yes. Gobert is a great player.
Impacts the game on both ends, big time.
But
Rudy Gobert.
For me,
not on the offensive end like this guy does.
Well, not like Mitchell does, but he impacts the game on both ends.
Not enough. I would say this. You might be right, Ernie, but I would say, can Rudy Gobert win a game for you offensively?
No.
There it is.
But he's a hell of a player.
Can he win a game for you defensively?
Right. Yes, but he's not impacting the game then.
All right. So what about Luka? What about Luka? Can he win a game for you?
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, he can. Yes.
He can't win 27. He can win 21.
Yes, he can.
That's the difference. He can win 21. He can't win 27.
But
it keeps sounding to me like he's on your ballot, and he's not. You keep going to the well on the Doncic thing.
Because I know how you soft people think. I know how y'all think.
Question I had, too, on San Antonio. Look, I got
to buy Harris. We got to give him a shout-out.
Yeah, see, I got down to my last pick, and I was looking at Aldridge, and I'm looking at DeRozan, and I'm looking at Karl Anthony Towns, and I'm looking at Tobias Harris.
I'm really pulling for Tobias Harris.
I know. I had him on mine, and I thought if anybody would have him, it would be you, Chuckster.
I did too.
Well,
You were screaming his name all year.
So
but the Clippers have been dropping like a rock. Dropping like a rock.
Well,
dropping like a rock.
I don't know.
Yeah.
26 and 22.
Like
26.
I know.
Still a
Remember-
playoff team right now,
Yeah,
which
still a
Dallas is
playoff
not.
team.
Well, okay.
Above
listen,
500.
Listen, you know I'm a big Tobias Harris fan.
Yeah.
To me, I'm pulling for him and Chris Middleton. I hope they both make the All-Star team. But at this point, Ernie, listen, it was a guess. Like, I had to take a Spur.
How did you decide? Because you guys differed on this. One of you took Aldridge, one of you took DeRozan.
I just put my hand, I put the tickets in a bowl, closed my eyes, and pulled out DeRozan.
And then what was left was Aldridge, and I took that one.
Yeah.
It was that close. Because they both impact the team the same way.
And listen,
But
the
you gotta
Spurs,
have one of
the
them.
Spurs, yeah, you got to have one of them. And like I say, I don't want to think I'm poo-pooing on Donovan Mitchell. I love Donovan Mitchell, but it's just apples and oranges at this point. Like, I love Doncic, but if they took Mitchell, I would have no gripe at all.
It's going to be interesting to see what the coaches do on that. And again, they have that other perspective of preparing for teams like that. And sometimes I think it's the coach says, look, I got a game plan against this guy. He's an all-star. Or maybe it's what he's done against his team in a couple of meetings during the regular season.
Or we have some coaches that might not know what they're doing too and pick the same thing.
Well, first of all, I think that's
They listen to y'all.
fair.
I'm just saying, we do. Sometimes we don't know what we're doing.
Now, some of these coaches, they just got bad teams. They some good coaches. Rick Carlisle's a great coach.
No one's saying that.
But I mean,
they're a decent team. They're fighting for a
Greg
playoff.
Popovich is in the conversation with one of the 3 or 4 greatest coaches ever.
No
The
question.
Spurs are 6.
Right. With a team that probably could have been out of the playoffs.
You know what else is interesting? For the first time in a long time, I was thinking about Sacramento Kings for that 8th spot. I was thinking about De'Aaron Fox. I was looking at Buddy
Not
Hield,
yet. Almost.
possibly.
Not yet.
Not
Almost.
yet.
Yeah, we're thinking
Let me
about
make
it.
sure.
Well, they're only 2 games out.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Why De'Aaron
yet,
Fox
though.
not yet? And
Not because no, not yet.
The only guy that I rewarded for not being in the playoffs, one was obviously LeBron James, who's already a starter.
Anthony Davis.
And Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
And the other guys, I was like, well, I will go with the other guys because it's so close between Karl Anthony
And I
Towns
probably-
and Donovan Mitchell and Luka Doncic. Well, I'm going to go with
Which
the guy
goes
who's
to
in
my
the playoffs.
point.
And in
Which
fairness-
goes to
It's
my
the same. It was apples
Stop
and oranges. So I'm going to go with
saying
rewarding winning.
When you don't say
If they're
that.
the same player, which one
LeBron
would you
James is
go
the captain. So don't say
No, but I'm saying
reward
if
winning.
you-
No, forget that. If you're a bad man and you put up numbers and you're an exciting player and you do a lot for your team, maybe your team is not winning or whatever, you're an all-star, period.
Okay,
Don't give me all that
astronomical
winning.
numbers, but-
The Lakers ain't winning, and LeBron's the captain.
And I think part
And
of
he
it,
had
too,
all the votes.
I think part of it, too, is...
Was there a point you're trying to make?
Yeah, y'all don't know what the hell y'all talking about with all this winning.
Yeah,
His
you don't know
team is
What
That's
about,
the point.
what are you saying about
You
LeBron?
don't take winning in any part of this.
Are you saying LeBron shouldn't be in the game?
No, I'm not saying that. By y'all rules, he shouldn't be in the game. You know, y'all talking about winning. LeBron's the baddest guy in the game, but his
Yeah,
team ain't
but
winning.
when he was playing, the
No,
Lakers were winning.
What? No.
When he stopped playing, they start losing.
No.
So I'm not going to penalize him for them bad dudes.
They're
for the
20
bad
and
record.
they're 20 and
Don't start
14, and
pussyfooting
then they're
around.
5
They're
and 9.
There's 6 games over 500 when he plays.
Yeah.
Nope.
And I think sometimes too,
Y'all don't know what y'all talking
it's
about.
a function.
Y'all don't know the
It's a function of. It's a function of your expectations. Hey, is Minnesota living up to expectations?
No.
And so you say, but look at the Clippers and look at Tobias Harris. They've exceeded
I
expectations.
told you, it was, man, at that point, I'm grasping. Tobias Harris, hey, I'm sorry, Aziz, my love.
I love that right there. Dante Grantham coming for you, Chuck.
Dante,
Yeah, he's one of the guys who got a vote.
who's he playing for?
He's in the OKC organization, but hasn't played this season.
Well,
That's the guy who
who got a vote?
Yeah.
He should have made his team 29-18, according to going by team records. You don't go by team, you go by stats.
Shaq.
You don't go by team records. Cut it out.
More hilarity
I got some show coming on
and
this evening.
goodwill.
Cut it out.
When we talk about the East reserves next. Game Night Monday premieres, fittingly, Monday on NBA TV with a doubleheader featuring Steph Curry and the Warriors against the Pacers. Later in LA, Trae Young leads the Hawks against the Clippers. Coverage begins at 7 o'clock Eastern on NBA TV. The Twitter machine in full force. Something about Chuck and Shaq arguing this warms my heart every single time. Yeah, try sitting in this chair, Steve Smith.
You know what, Kenny? You know what Ernie Kenny just asked me?
What?
What night is Monday night game night on?
I did not ask you.
How long does 60 minutes last?
What do you ask you, Chuck?
I did have a guy in college ask Coach, 12-minute run. How long is that? It's like 12 minutes.
My college roommate, Vern Strickland, asked me one time, where's the Kentucky Derby at?
They're the Eastern All-Stars, by the
You
way.
have to be smart to play basketball.
Just to recap for those of you who are just joining
I
us.
said, I'm going to go on a limb, Kentucky.
Some guy asked me where the Golden State Warriors play.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I promise.
Oh, we know that. We know that.
I thought we were playing in San Francisco the whole time.
Boy, it's taken a long time to get to the arena.
I'm sorry.
Why don't we take a look at our reserve picks for the East? An agreement on Bradley Beal, Blake Griffin, Kyle Lowry, Chris Middleton, D'Angelo Russell, Ben Simmons, and Victor Oladipo. We know.
Thought you had a crazy
And
list.
we know Victor Oladipo is out for the rest of the year, and so we all, kind of threw another name in there, but. We all like Nick Vucevic, who's having a
So we
career
agreed
year
on
in
all
Orlando.
7.
Yeah, basically. And but Charles,
You wanted to do 2.
I wanted to do 2 Brooklyn Nets because I think that
He was next. He was next on my list after Vucevic. He was right next.
well, here's my question before we talk about Dinwiddie. No Jimmy Butler on anybody's list.
Didn't play enough games.
Well, but, and also, he going to complain of not getting shots in the All-Star game.
Stop. He just didn't play enough games for me in the Eastern Conference
Not this
to
year.
warrant it. But he is an all-star, obviously. He
Has been an All-Star.
and when the playoffs come, you know he's going to get the ball down the stretch, and that's going to be big for the Philadelphia 76ers. I don't think he's going to complain about not being an all-star, but maybe he's complaining about some things.
Yeah, but it's going to be a tough pull for him to get the support of coaches to name him an Eastern Conference All-Star reserve. So,
He's going to get 0 coaches votes.
and that's what you have to have to get in.
He ain't even going to get his own coach vote.
Andre Drummond come to mind when you were looking at All-Star bigs?
No, I just thought the Detroit Pistons needed one.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's got 2 Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, because the Brooklyn Nets are balling.
Well, there's 6 in the. I mean, there's 6. It's
balling.
not like they got.
Wait, they got a better record than the Pistons?
I know they do. I'm just saying. I'm just bringing up Andre Drummond.
But what
Just
the
saying,
Brooklyn Nets have done is
multiple All-Stars.
No, listen,
overachievement.
What you
It's
say?
overachievement too.
What you would say? I think it's fair to say, when you look at the playoff teams, there's not one single person had the Brooklyn Nets making the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
Not one person.
Unless you play for the Nets.
Yes.
Other than that,
Hey, listen, I don't even
some of
think
them,
they-
half of them was like, well, not this year.
So hold on. You mean to tell me Drummond's not playing better than both of the Brooklyn guys you picked?
They got a better record.
He's not playing at D'Angelo Russell, no. Not
Oh,
in the-
D'Angelo Russell's having an All-Star.
He's not playing. He's not
What
playing
about
better
the
than
other one?
D'Angelo.
Dinwiddie.
About the
Yes.
same.
He's playing great too.
About the same.
Okay, so you
Better-
take okay. So Ernie just
getting
asked
18
me.
points,
I
whatever,
love
whatever.
Andre Drummond. I voted for him. I voted for Blake.
This kid's balling right here.
Yes,
Okay.
he's playing
Yeah,
great.
no, he's
but
balling.
think about it. You got 2 guys in Detroit who people are all-stars. They're not in the playoffs if the season started today. And the Brooklyn Nets are. And I'm rewarding them.
So you think, Shaq? The only thing I want to say, I understand what your point is, but you
Man's
would
one of the
believe-
top rebounders.
Can I say this?
Yes.
Well, leads the league.
You would say that. Did you have Blake Griffin on there?
Yes.
Yes, I
So
did.
you're saying that you have 2 All-Stars on your team and you can't win? You're not 500? To me, that's not
That
possible.
don't make sense, Shaq.
In the Eastern Conference, that doesn't make sense.
But it takes more than 2 people.
But in the Eastern Conference, there's guys who don't have
More than 2
one.
people.
Okay, so what about Brooklyn? They don't. Going into the season, nobody thought D'Angelo Russell was going to be an All-Star or Dinwiddie.
Okay, so if you got the best player in the game, where should your record be right now?
Best player in the game, you should be close to the playoff.
Okay, cool. All right, let's check it.
And Giannis,
Shaq, the Lakers
Giannis-
would have they would be way up higher if LeBron hadn't been hurt.
I'm just asking questions, bro.
Was it tough for you guys on the Milwaukee Bucks side? Here they have the best record in the Eastern Conference. Who should the second guy be besides Antetokounmpo? I know we got Middleton, but I mean they got a lot of guys who were so close.
Wasn't tough.
Middleton,
close.
Bledsoe.
It wasn't tough.
It wasn't close for me.
Really?
That guy is.
You know, his numbers,
Middleton's their second best player.
Okay, but
his numbers are down. His numbers are
His
down. from
impact
last
is
year.
not down.
all right, but
To me, his impact is
answer me this: Greek Freak is a man on that team. Right?
without question.
Yes.
You take him away. What does Middleton do? Does he have the same impact on the game? No. Thank you. That's my point.
What?
That's
No,
my point.
Shaq.
No, stop
Hold on.
it. Stop it.
So you're telling me?
I'm telling you what.
Hold on. Derek Fisher. Let me think of somebody. Rick
Derek
Fox.
Fisher was never All-Stars.
Hold
They're
on
not
for a second.
All-Stars.
Hold on for a second. Derek Fisher.
They're not All-Stars.
Okay, do you think?
Can I-
do you
hold
think
on, hold on.
Eddie
Let me-
Jones would have the
can I
same
think it's
impact
important?
not playing with you?
No, he wouldn't.
Okay, then.
That's
He
how-
made the All-Star.
But
He
you
made
know-
it.
But hold on.
Your impact helped him.
But hold on. He had great numbers that year.
I'm not saying he
No,
didn't.
but I'm saying
because if your impact,
I was saying Derek Fisher, Rich Fox, if they don't play with you and Kobe, you think they have the same effect?
Okay, all right, okay. Another question. If you put Chris Middleton on a different team, does he have the same impact? Putting up those
Middleton's a good player.
I do.
Does he have all-star numbers? That's what I'm asking.
He has the same.
No, he does not. Cut it out.
I think he would.
You don't
Stop
think Chris Middleton could score on any?
I think he could have higher numbers if he weren't playing with Freak.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have higher numbers.
Playing with
Middleton's a bad boy, man.
Man,
Don't sleep on him.
Don't sleep on
Middleton's a bad boy.
I think that's why we both had him as a.
He's not a superstar, but he is an all-star.
Yeah,
That's the difference. To me, this is the difference.
No, but hold on. Let me
All
finish.
right.
I understand that. When you have certain people on the floor, it opens up. When that person's not on the
That's a
floor, then you got to
superstar.
do.
But listen to the difference.
Hold on, you don't think Middleton opened the floor up for Greek?
What you mean open the floor for Greek?
He's the spacing.
Greek opened the floor for him.
No.
Stop it.
Oh, no.
Can I say one
When
thing?
that man go to the hole, it's 5 people trying to block a shot. All he got to do is do this. That man taking wide open shots.
I have one question to ask you.
Yes.
And you're right.
I know I'm right.
But there's a superstar and an all-star. A superstar affects the game to me in 4 ways. We always know scoring, rebound, and assist. But a superstar can affect the game in leadership or pace of the game or defense. That's 6 different ways. An all-star usually only can affect the game twice, 2 different ways: scoring and assist. That's an all-star.
That's not
That's
true.
the difference between a superstar and an all-star. How many ways does an all-star affect the game?
No, because you know what? Because most superstars have been all-stars. What the hell are you talking about right now?
No, a superstar is an all-star, but an all-star isn't a superstar.
I have one other.
Kobe Bryant and LeBron James is tied for what? The most all-stars, and they're superstars. What the hell are you talking about right now?
I just got one other question for you.
Because you ain't making no point.
You missed it.
Stop for 1 second. I got one other question.
Yes.
How come you put these guys on your list and then you argue that they shouldn't be on there?
I didn't argue. I'm just saying because
Okay.
no,
You said Middleton
I'm just
shouldn't
hearing
make it.
things.
No,
All right.
because I know you softies was going to try to talk me. Oh, he got a better.
Let's bring out some
There's a man,
Jordan
all-star player
Jordan
tonight.
brand All-Star jerseys.
Yo, man, you need to
Nice.
go get you a job at Fox News.
This is look at these.
You got to see things your way, and that's it.
Like this,
man.
like this very much in the
thank you.
personalized.
No
with the
penalizing
rocket,
guys because they don't have great
32,
records.
like that
I
very
wish.
much.
That's nice right there.
I wish.
Thanks, Mike.
I wish.
This is
Malloy.
these jerseys drawing inspiration from the '91 game in
Now, this is
Charlotte.
KJ one.
You remember the '91 game in Charlotte, do you not, Charles?
Do I remember that?
Yeah, you were the MVP,
MVP.
man.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't know why.
Get up right
Yeah.
there.
I don't know why.
Carl Malone, get out that hands
man,
down, man down, Mark Jackson.
17 points, 22 rebounds for the Chuckster.
Thank you, man.
All-Star game 1990.
And you had a good team, too.
I got an MVP for
And your
17
team.
points.
And your
Hell
team.
no.
It's 22 boards.
Oh, whoopee freaking do.